We got Covington Catholic head coach, Coach Eddie Evinston. Coach, now you are not a stranger to these games. Congratulations again, Coach. How's things going this season, Coach?
Well, I appreciate that. It's great to be here. It's going well. It's one of those things. Every time you kick things off in the summer, and you start to, kind of start to look what kind of puzzle pieces you have, and you start to form this. You never know how it's going to end. You never know how it's going to go. So, but really excited about our team and what we've been able to accomplish this year. Every year is a little bit of a different journey. This one's kind of been unique for us, but it's been good. So we're excited.
Coach, man, like Coach Truss said, congratulations on another great year. Coach, I ain't gonna lie now. You ain't dug no heat with this schedule. You had a tough one. You had 6A schools like Rowell. You played Highlands, beat them pretty conventionally. Beechwood beat them, a great team. Johnson Central always good. Then you had them in the first round of playoffs, as well as you beat Paducah Tillman, a great team, and you're taking on this Boyle County team. Coach, do you feel like your schedule through the season has prepared you for this championship game you're going to play this weekend?
I think every year we try to make sure our schedule at least gives us a little bit battle tested. And, the one thing you can't control sometimes is your district. You kind of leave that up to the state to kind of tell you where you're at and what you got to do. And I think that's for everybody. And, I think you talk to many coaches around the state, and sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing about what it is. But the only thing you can't control is the rest of your schedule. And we've always tried to make sure that, we got those quality programs, those quality teams, those teams that they know how to win. Year in and year out, they're a state contender. And for us, Northern Kentucky has kind of been our staple of trying to play some of these teams in Northern Kentucky. So through that combination, I think we've done the best we can. I think at that point, obviously going against a powerhouse in Boyle, and they're not strangers to this game. They're not strangers to anything. So that's where we're at.
Now, Coach, this might be considered Clash of the Titans as far as football goes. How going into this game? What's it going to take for Covington Catholic to get this win? Playing probably what some people would consider maybe the best team in the state this year.
I think anytime you go into a game, especially at this level, at this point in the season, it comes down to, it's cliche as all can be, but it comes down to those things that have been true over time is, you can't turn the ball over. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. You can't make those small mental mistakes that are going to continue to put you behind the eight ball. So, I think obviously it's going to take that. It's going to take our kids to play at a high level, maybe, play at a level that, they've been scratching the surface with, and they just got to get over that hump and all those things. So, because obviously we know, we know it's going to be a challenge. We know what they have, and, that's not very hard to figure out when you watch film and you watch other things about their program. And so much respect for them and what they do. We just, it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, Coach, man, you got a great team here. You got a young man playing quarterback, and Evan Pitzer. Is that correct? Pitzer with over 2,000 yards, 2,500 yards passing, 32 touchdowns. You got a couple of running backs, one over 834 yards, and Owen Lynn. And then Evans right behind him with 636. How special is this offense that you have, Coach?
It's one thing that I think sometimes in this offense, we really do want to spread the ball around. And I think Evan has done a great job of really understanding our offense to where that's what it is. And we got a lot of guys that get touches, some more than just because of what they do and what positions they play. But we really try to be balanced as much as possible and spread that ball around. And, Evan's done a great job being a senior leader and really understanding what we're doing and kind of facilitating that. So, that's been great to see. And, a lot of times we talk about, as in any football game, your quarterback, your offense is going to go how he goes. And, Evan's done a great job of putting that on his shoulders and handling his business.
Now, is this the first meeting between Boyle and Covington Catholic that you know of?
From my understanding, it is, yeah, that I know of. I know me and Coach Haddix had talked before a little bit about possibly trying to get on the schedule, and then we kind of, when we got in that same class, it's like, okay, well, maybe that's not the smartest thing to do. But it's one of those things where I think it might be the first time.
Let me ask you a question. Do you almost feel like, which is, I know it's hard to believe, a team with your history, being a state championships, being undefeated again this year, do you almost feel like your team is walking in as an underdog in a way? And is that something you use it to kind of motivate these cats? Like, look, nobody really believes in you. I mean, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think, sometimes, especially with the amount of stuff you can find out, the amount of information out there that is either, from a blog to a ranking to people just talking in general, you kind of try to insulate your kids from that a little bit. But at the same time, you're not going to. They're gonna see it, they're gonna hear it, they're gonna whatever. And so I think bottom line is like, yeah, I mean, I think definitely we're going in as the underdog. I mean, there's a lot of, you see any ranking, you see anything else. I mean, Boyle's always been ahead, all these different things. So, you hear a lot of people mention that the 4A state championship was played 2 weeks ago, all those different things. So we can't control that. We all we can do is say, hey guys, this is what's on your schedule next. And that's how we've taken that approach all year. Is this what's on your schedule next? It is what it is. Let's handle it. And I'm very proud of our kids because that's what they've done. Now they're in this situation to say, all right, this is what's next. However people put us, it don't matter, but this is what's next. And, but from what they see, they know that, hey, they'll probably be underdog.
All right. Coach, we got Coach Haddix on. Do you mind bringing him on? Y'all kind of talk a little bit?
That's great.
All right. Oh, no. All right, Coach Haddix, we got Coach Evinston on. We just happened to be finishing up. I was like, man, we said we could bring y'all on and kind of talk a little bit. Now, did y'all ever, play against each other? Is this y'all first time actually, coaching each other and that type of deal?
Yeah, I don't think we've I remember hearing about Eddie Evinston all the time when he was at Georgetown playing quarterback. I said, I was a quarterback growing up, and I was blessed to go to Western, but I always heard the name Eddie Evinston, and got a ton of respect for him and what he's done, and obviously he's won state championships at two different places. And it's going to be one of my teammates at Western's actually his O-line coach, Greg Ryan. So it's funny. We were texting each other on Friday night. Hey, good luck this week. Rooting for him every game except this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Coach Haddix. I mean, he was big time though. He was big time. He was going on playing college ball, big time Western. So hey, it's cool.
Yes, sir.
Now we got these two offensive gurus meeting. What's something that when you're looking at each other's teams, what's something that you try to, I don't know, emulate or, gain from each other?
Go ahead, Coach.
Well, I think the biggest thing sometimes is, like you said, when you watch, you try to break somebody, some film down and do whatever. And no matter who it is, especially if they're successful, you're trying to say, okay, what are they doing? What are they doing well? And I think, Coach Haddix and his staff does a great job of, putting their kids in good positions to be successful, trying to change things up to where they are. So, that's something that, we always kind of try to do and say, how can we do that without being so obvious about it and different things like that. So, it's kind of one of those things where, again, being a coach, I think we all, we can all probably say is none of us are inventing anything, right? We're always, we're always taking things from somebody else. So, that's what we do for sure.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Sometimes I've watched people and watched them that week, and I said, man, that's nice. Maybe we could do this and put it in our terminology. And through college football, through, now you get all these things, Twitter and all these things you can watch. And when you're scouting other people, well, this worked against them. Hey, maybe, we could do something like this. And but you got to do, I think all good coaches, and Coach Evinston does a great job of, it's what your kids can do. Like, it's not what I could do when I played or what he could do when he played. You got to be able to put things out there that your kids can execute at a high level and, be comfortable with.
Like Coach Haddix and Coach Evinston, like, who are your influences as far as like what you run and how you do that? Your offense.
For me, it's probably Mike Holcomb was my high school head coach, so I had Coach Holcomb a lot. We used a lot of the same terminology, a lot of things there. And then when I was at Western, I had Willie Taggart, who was there, and T.J. Weist. They're both with the Ravens right now, so I had those. I've kind of mixed and put that together, and then added on little things when you've been at different places. When I was at Perry County and a Corbin, and then here of like, this worked here, could it work this way, and just tried to make that all of our own, and picking up things each week. I said that's something during the off season we do a lot of clinicking, and we'll talk to different people and look at different things. Maybe we could run this. Sometimes I say, man, it really looks good on paper. And then you start getting out there in spring practice. I'm like, scrap that. I'm not doing that. So, I think there's a lot of influences that and I've been blessed to be around a lot of great people.
Yeah, for me, obviously, it kind of probably breeds a little bit off of Coach Cronin and Coach Mullins and his staff at Georgetown College. Kind of seeing what they did. We have a lot of our principles come from that offense, and I'll be quite honest, a little bit of a kind of a marriage between that and crazy to think of, but like when I played arena ball in Lexington, and you had some influence from Coach Franklin, and then Coach Fire, and then Coach Harmon, and it was like a lot of that Kentucky air raid offensive terminology, and you kind of mix those, and like Coach said, you kind of see what works with what you do, and we kind of always built that from that point on, and so yeah, that's kind of those influences that continue to show up in our offense.
Hey, thanks, Coach. Well, Coach, we're gonna let you go, Coach Evinston. Have a good time, and we'll see y'all Saturday.
Right. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yes, sir. All right.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, now we get my coach, Coach Haddix, Coach Boyle County, Coach. Man, you have come home. Proverbially coming back home. And we didn't think you could make it much better, Coach, but somehow you have.
Yeah.
Tell us about this, Coach. I mean, it looks like you're just having a blast, too.
I am. I said, it's my mom actually sent me the message. I guess it was after we won the state championship last year. We said we win and we ride, and right there at the state championship conference. I hope to have an ending like that again. I hope we're winning and doing that. But very blessed to be at this place where I'm at Boyle County. And, kids work hard, got a great staff, got great support from our administration and everybody that helps makes it go, our community. Things, it seems, it's fun to coach here. And I've got a great group. When you look at different years and everybody says, well, what's the difference? What's this? These kids, they're fun to be around. It's been a great group to coach. They enjoy being around each other. And, everybody says, well, how's the game going to go? I said, well, all I know is we've got a group that love each other, and they're going to play hard for each other, for them, for the coaches, and for the community. We're going to do our best, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Well, Coach, I'm going to ask my first question. First question is, Coach, man, you couldn't get a tougher schedule than what you scheduled this year. Team out of Indiana, LCA stayed in the top 2 of 2A all year. Scott County, who was part of the favorite in 5A, beat them pretty convincingly. Let's see, Catholic, who was a tough team all year, who you normally played anyway, great, beat them, beat a great Frederick Douglass team and Lexington. Man, with making that schedule.
Coach, you ain't even talking about the playoffs, Coach.
That's what I'm saying. You beat Franklin County, Prairie,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been tough. Corbin, I mean, how do you get these kids up week after week after week after week for these games and then keep them motivated when they beat them like they stole something, Coach?
Well, it's a constant, it's a weekly thing, it's a daily thing of what you got to do, and it's not about who we play, it's about how we play. And that's something we talk about all the time of we can't control what anybody else does. The only thing we can control is our attitude and our effort every day that we're working to get better. Because you either get better or you get worse. You don't stay the same. And that's something I don't feel like we played our best game yet, which is encouraging. That's something that I feel like, a lot of people talked after the Douglas game or after this game, well, he played as good as you. We didn't really play that great after watching the film. It was a good win, and it was that, but we still have our best game in us. And as a coach, that's what you want to have happen of that last game when you're getting in the playoffs and state championships where you hope you're at, that best game is still in there. And I know we can play a lot better on both sides, all three phases of the game. We've shown flashes in all 14 previous games, but we definitely got that one in there, and we hope we have to show it on Friday.
Now, Coach, last year we got a chance to talk to Sage, your quarterback, and looking at these guys, how do you balance the way, like a lot of them play both ways, and how do you keep that going?
That's something, Sage is definitely, we got a lot of our guys play both ways. If you look at our top skill guys, Sage is the quarterback, plays corner. Avery Bodner is the running back. He does everything. He plays linebacker, leading us in tackles, leading us in rushing and tackles. Montavian Quisenberry plays free safety, and he's leading us in receptions or yards or touchdowns or whatever. I don't know. And then Demarie Brown is playing strong safety, and he plays receiver and running back, moving all over. So a lot of our guys do that, and they're football players. That's something. Everybody asks what position. Well, they're just football players. They love playing the game. It makes it fun in practice. It makes it competitive when we're going against that, and that's what's made us better each week is having we feel like we got some really good players in the wings, and it's competitive every day.
It's funny you said it because that's part of my next question. I mean, it's like you watch it. Like I watched you against Douglas, kind of start off kind of slow, and then like I said, boom, then it kicked in. You see people kind of keying on Quisenberry, keying on Sage. But then you take a kid, like Avery Bodner, who just smash math his way to over 100 yards rushing, about close to 200 yards rushing against Douglas in a big win. He's probably, carried you through. How do you continue to find somebody? How is it seeing somebody else step up week after week after week, especially a kid like Avery Bodner?
Well, Avery Bodner, he's a football player. If you look at it, if something he's the backup quarterback. He can throw it probably as far as anybody we got in this. He plays this. He just loves the game, and he is a competitor. And I think that's something that if you look at all those guys I've mentioned, and why our team is successful is because we've got a team full of competitors. Like they enjoy. Nothing's easy. We don't take it easy on them. It is, hey, it's a production world, and we talk about that all the time. And that's made it. In the last 2 weeks, we've had guys lose positions in practice, and I know a lot of people think that's coach speak, and hey, you can everything's available. Like, it happened here all on special teams, and we had a linebacker. Hey, didn't play good. Hey, we're going to go to practice. Whoever has the best week of practice is going to play. Hey, this sophomore stepped up. Boom, he's starting linebacker, and the other guy's on the bench. So if you don't bring it every day in practice, we've had that at receiver too. But if you don't bring it in practice and you're not competing, you're going to be sitting over there watching.
Because we know, like, we've mentioned the names, the Quisenberries, Sage, and Bonner, but I want to know about how do you keep that offensive line, those linemen, going like you do, Coach? What's the secret there?
Kyle Singleton and Travis Lefew, they're my offensive line coaches. We put two guys with them. I feel like your offensive line is the most important thing. The line of scrimmage is where you win at it. And I think it needs two people coach that. That's where they're at. A lot of people may have, two receiver coaches or two this, like the offensive line, they get coached every day by those guys. And we've moved people in and out. We've got 7, 8 guys that we really work, our top 7 or 8. And one guy goes down, another guy can go in, and we've rotated people around to do that, to make it the best, and executing our schemes and doing what we are. They allow us to do some things that maybe people couldn't. But 2 great line coaches, and then you got to go back to our weight room guy, Jackson Arnett. He runs our weight room, and he coaches our tight ends and linebackers. So I think the off-season development's big into that, to where we've got bodies that we can do that with and beat and bang. And in the in the big games, you got to be able to run the football, and you got to be able to stop the run and play defense. And I think that's being physical is a big part of that.
Well said, Coach. Well said. Well said.
Well, Coach, I guess now the next question is, Coach, what's it going to take for us to get, is it 4th or 5th?
It'd be
4th.
a
4th straight championship,
fourth,
right?
fourth. Yeah, 4th.
Yeah, okay. What's it going to take for us to get our 4th straight championship, Coach?
It's going to be a battle. I said, talking about Covington Catholic, they're very well coached. Coach Evinston and their offense and defensive staff and special teams, they all do a great job. You can see their schedule. They played some big-time teams too and competed and been in tight games. So it's not like they've never been in a battle. They've been in some battles. You got to limit the big play. I feel like it's a big thing. You got to make them grind things out. Offensively, you can't turn the ball over, can't give them a short field. And special teams got to win the field position battle. I think, kickoff, punts, the return game, all those things, you've got to win those in the biggest stage. And that's usually when it comes out in these big games, is that special teams that not a lot of people talk about, but, play big roles in every championship game I've been in.
All right, Coach Bill, you got anything else for my coach?
Nah, Coach, it's going to be a good one, man. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Rodriguez, he's a monster now. You can see why people like him. He is a big, and the quarterback is really good. I said he's a big, tall kid, but he is physical and runs downhill. He can play. So we'll have our hands full.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck, Coach, man, and keep doing what you're doing, Coach.
Hey, appreciate you having me on. Go Rebels.
Yes, sir. All right.
Good luck, Coach.